Welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we are doing my top 20 Doom albums of all time. You guys voted for it, and here we're going to deliver. So before I get started on my list, you know how it goes. Pop your own albums down below, because it's fun to read through them. And yeah, let's get doomy. Number 20 is Arcane Rain Fell by Draconian. Draconian is a beautiful band with beautiful female singing, cool growls as well, mixing the best of both worlds. It's very gothic, it's very haunting, and this album is amazing. Number 19 is a classic one, The Silent Enigma by Anathema, one of the Death Doom pioneers, and you might see another album by one of the Peaceville trio later on. Spoiler. But this album is, again, you know, it's Death Doom at its finest, but there is some other Death Doom which might make it a bit higher, so yeah, let's move on. Speaking of Death Doom, Into Darkness by Winter, one of the pioneering bands, a band that only released one album and then disbanded, but the album they left behind is a masterpiece. I do think it's more like funeral doomy than death doomy. People say it's Death Doom, but I hear more slower, like longer parts in this album, but whatever it is, it's Doom, so it belongs on this list. And if you've never checked it out, give it a whirl, because it's amazing. Next is Absolution by Khemmis, more traditional, normally kind of Doom. What? You know what I mean though. Like Black Sabbath-y kind of rocky Doom. This is fun. This is a fun album. A great band. I can't wait to see what they do next. If you just want to sit back, relax, have some fun with your Doom, then Khemmis is the band for you. And this album is my favourite. Next up is Incubus of Karma by Mournful Congregation, a funeral Doom band. Hell yes, one of my favourite genres, and this is my favourite album by the band. I know it's probably not a popular pick because it's like a newer one, but fuck it. It's a great album nonetheless. You know, if you know the long songs, epic songs, Mournful Congregation is one of the best, so give it a bloody listen, give it some love. Next up is Transcendence into the Peripheral by Disembowlment. That's a mouthful and a half. This is Death Doom, but very Death Doom. The growls on it, intense as hell, so demonic on this album. It's a classic. You guys need to hear this one. Like, the vocals on it are amazing. It's on YouTube as well, so go check it out after this video. Transcendence into the Peripheral. I can never remember that. I can never say it, but I'll put everything down below, all the album titles down below, so you can check them out at your own leisure. So definitely give this one a listen. Next up is Epicus, doomicus, metallicus by Candlemass. Of course, gotta have some epic Doom on here, and this is probably my favourite. I do love Nightfall. I do love Messiah's vocals, but I think it works better on the debut with the other vocalist that I've completely forgotten. Come on. It's a goddamn classic. You know, it's one of the top Doom albums alongside, you know, like Master of Reality and all those other classic Saint Vitus, you know what I mean? It's in there, and I think it's the best out of all of them. I think it is the best out of all of them. So it's making it onto my list, and you know, I've got to rep some epic Doom, and Candlemass is the bloody best. Next up is Last One on Earth by Asphyx. Asphyx is an underrated band, amazing, and they just released Necrosaurus, which is just a powerhouse of an album. All their albums hit, but Last One on Earth, come on. MS Bismarck, or like how heavy it is, how just evil Martin's vocals are on it, one of the best vocalists of all time. This album slays. So next we have a spoiler for maybe a ranking that's coming soon, Gothic by Paradise Lost. This is still in the Death Doom days of Paradise Lost. It's a massive step up from the debut, which is still a fantastic album, and I think it's better than the Gothic shit that they do, which I'm not a big fan of. Spoiler, but this one is like the perfect blend between the Death Doom and the almost Gothic-y stuff they start doing, and it works so well. Gothic is a beautiful album, but Paradise Lost, it's one of the best, and it's making it here. Next up is Dopesmoker by Sleep. I mean, the whole album's like an hour and 20 minutes or something, and it's one song, and it's like, you know, slow, fuzzy stoner doom riffs. You know what you like. Pop this on when you're drunk or high. It's great time. It's a great time, and loads of people hate this one because it is very meandering. But you know, you're looking at a top 20 doom metal, album list. Yeah, there's going to be some long songs, there's going to be some doomy songs, and that's what you get. So if you love Stoner Doom, you have to listen to this. Next up is Stormcrowfleet by Skepticism. This is a great funeral doom band and album. The mix of like organs or like keyboards or piano, whatever the fuck they use in it. It's more orchestral, it's more epic. It's epic funeral doom. The growls are just intense as hell, and like the instrumentation is just, it's very atmospheric. The album's very atmospheric, and it's one you have to listen to. Next up is Mirror Reaper, another kind of like 2-part or 1-song album. Long album, very dreary, very doomy, very dirgy, and it's Mirror Reaper, you know? Mirror Reaper's one of the best albums of the past, 10 years. And it's doom. I love this album so much. As soon as I heard it, I loved it. Still love it. It's one of the best. Bell Witch can do no wrong. All their albums are fantastic, but this one is the piece de resistance. It's so good. Next up is Sauron Extinction by Pallbearer. Pallbearer has some amazing albums. In the last one they did last year, made it onto my end of the year list because it's that good. All their albums are fantastic. Foundations of Burden or whatever it's called. But this one has always been my favourite. Always, it's more catchy, I think, with some of the songs and some of the melodies on it. So, I love the purple on it as well. Come on, purple's great. Purple Squirtle. What can I say? It's clean singing. It's not quite as death doomy as some of the other ones I've been mentioning. So I think newcomers might, latch onto it better. So yeah, go give it a listen. Next up is Mental Funeral by Autopsy. From Asphyx to Autopsy. Mental Funeral is so good. I think I put this in my death metal one as well, but fuck it. It's death doom as well as death. And this is like the creators of death doom. This album and So Severed to Survival, so good. But I can only put one here. And Mental Funeral is my favourite by Autopsy, so go give Autopsy some more love. Gotta put him here. Next up is the Antithesis of Light by Evoken. Evil, heavy funeral doom, dark as hell. This is one of the heavier funeral doom albums. Feels like you're just at a war memorial at like nighttime, where it's like raining and like the zombies are coming out. It's great. It has that kind of eerie feeling, but also heavy feeling. And this album does it well. Evoken's one of the best funeral doom bands, and gotta show some love. Next up is the Maniacal Veil by Esoteric, another kind of swirling, madness-inducing album, which you can get from the art. It does feel like that. You're just going to fall into that vortex, and you're going to have a bad time, but your ears are going to have a good time. And that's what this album delivers. It's another dark album. It's another funeral doom album. It's heavy as well. Same thing as the Evoken album. I think it's a bit less heavy than the Evoken album, but it's a bit more catchy. So, it's going a bit higher. Number 4, Brave Murder Day by Katatonia. It's not my favourite Katatonia album. It's in my top 3, but it's not my favourite. But it is a Death Doom album, and it's one of the pioneers again, like Paradise Lost and Anathema and all that shit. And this album with Mikkel and the growls and stuff, it's so good. So good. I mean, what can I say? The songs Brave Murder and Day are all great. I've shilled this album a lot. I think it's one of the best of all time. So of course it's making it here. Of course it is. Number 3. Hooded Menace. Never cross the dead. You shouldn't cross them, because they'll get you. This album is just catchy as all hell. It's Death Doom at its finest. Murky, cavernous vocals, catchy riffs. It's Riff City as well. Terror Castle. Come on. Night of the Hammer. Like, all these songs are catchy. All these songs are fun, engaging, and interesting. This isn't a boring one. Like, some people like put off by Doom. It's too boring. Listen to this one. Never Cross the Dead by Hooded Menace. You will not be bored. I assure you. So it's coming in at my number 3 spot. Number 2 is A New Moon by Swallow the Sun. Yeah, I just did a Swallow the Sun ranking, and this was top of that, and I still love it. These Woods Breathe Evil is majestic. New Moon. Oh, all these songs are fantastic. Evil growls, beautiful singing, beautiful melodies, heavy at parts. It's yin and yang of metal, and that's what I like. And this delivers it so perfectly. And it's coming in at my number 2 spot. So that leaves number 1. There's only one number 1, and it's got to be this band. It's Ahab with Call of the Wretched Sea. This is Funeral Doom, nautical Funeral Doom, so it's like you're out on the sea alongside Moby Dick and all these other characters, and you're going to try and fight the White Whale. Kind of like Leviathan by Mastodon, but this is like the more evil sounding version of Leviathan. Longer passages, you can hear the creaking of the boat and the waves at times, kind of like Ram of the Ancient Mariner. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. It's one of my favourite albums of all time, and everyone should listen to it. You know, again, it is Funeral, so you know you're gonna like it or not. But for me, it's a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. Love it. I've loved every Ahab album, but this one is just so good, so good. Old Thunder. Oh, yeah. When he screams "Whale ahead," shivers and goosebumps. Easily my favourite Doom album of all time. That is my list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below what's your favourite Doom albums of all time. What's your least favourite? Let me know, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.